Benvenuto! Welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make white rice, believe it or not. We're going to have some white rice for dinner tonight. So a while ago, I asked you guys if you've wanted to make a video about making white rice or rice in general. It's always something that intimidated me, so I thought I'd give you a couple tips of how I do it, because I'm just going to boil it. Today, you could get a rice cooker. There's so many other cool gadgets. I don't make rice enough that I feel that it's worth having a particular, utensil to make the rice, so I always boil it. Now, the only thing I can say is follow the package directions. I happen to be making some enriched white rice, extra long grain from Carolina rice, all right? The directions are right on the back of the package. And for anybody that's struggled with rice, whether it comes out overcooked, not cooked enough, it burns, again, follow the directions. The manufacturer wants you to buy their rice again, so they're telling us how to make it, okay? And you're going to measure it exactly. All right, so the first thing we need, we're going to make, I think it's a serving for 4. All right, so you need 2 cups, and I mean 2 cups, guys, of water. And we're going to bring that to a boil. Now, when I say that, I don't mean, take your 2-cup measuring cup and, fill it all the way up to the top. The 2-cup line is right there. So you want 2 cups of water. All right. And then you want, of course, this is our white rice. And usually what I just do is when I empty it into the bigger container, I'll take it. Of course, I did wipe the bag off. I throw it in there, cover it, put it back in. So therefore we'll have the directions in case you're going to make more than 2 or 4 helpings, because sometimes it's not always. I know a lot of times people will say, well, it's 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. That's not always the case, but depending upon what cup of rice you're making. All right. So anyway, so then importantly again, you want a dry measuring cup. Okay. So as this comes to a boil, now I'm not going to add any salt to this. You could add a little bit of salt if you want. You could also make it with chicken stock or beef stock or vegetable stock, depending upon what you're going to be serving it with, right? I'm going to be serving this with a really savory beef dish, so I'm not going to put any more salt or anything in there. You could put a little bit of a pinch of salt in there for flavoring if you want, but excuse me, like I said, what's going to go on top of this rice is going to be full of flavor, so we don't need a whole bunch more. The only other thing I would say is, so you want a heavy-bottomed pan. We're bringing that to a boil, and you want a cover that's going to fit tight. Of course, this is the cover that goes with this pan. I bought these pots and pans, I think even before I met Wade. These have served me well. They're little, the handles are getting a little dull and stuff. But anyway, so you want a good, tight-fitting lid. Now, you don't want a lid like this that's got the little steam vent or steam vent, because then if once you cover it, if you're losing all your steam, your water is going to evaporate faster than you want it to, and your rice isn't going to cook. At least that's my take on it. I don't know if there's a scientific reason why, but I've made it with a steamed cover before, and it doesn't come out the way I want. All right, so we're coming to a boil. Can you hear? It's just starting to boil. So we want it to come to a full rolling boil. And that might take another 30 or 40 seconds. What else can we say about rice? I don't know. Can you think of anything else to say about rice, honey?
Nope.
Oh, I know what to do. I don't have my wedding ring on. I took it off because I was using some harsh cleaning chemicals. That's where I always put it when I take it off. All right, it's almost coming to the boil. I don't want Wade to have to edit, but he doesn't like when I talk too much. So if he puts music in over my voice, you guys will have to let me know. Speaking of letting me know, Todd, I did read your message last week. I think in one of our videos, I talked when we made the dip. I talked about, that while I was looking for recipes for the mayonnaise that we made in another video, I'd come across a recipe for Creole or Cajun macaroni. salad. And I asked you, is that a thing? And you said yes, and we're going to make that in the next couple of weeks. I got all the ingredients. I got the mustard you suggested, and we just got delivered yesterday the blue plate mayo, so we're going to make that shortly. All right, we're at a full rolling boil, guys. We killed some time, okay? So you just want to dump all your rice in, give it a little stir, spill some water. How that little bit of water got all the way up there, I'll never know. Now, the next important thing is you want to make sure that comes back to a boil, okay, before you put your cover on. And that should only take really a matter of a couple minutes, well, even 30, 40 seconds, if that. But we do want it to come back to a, get off there, rice. It's not going to come up. I want it to come back to a really good boil. I'm going to give it just a few more seconds because I really want it boiling. So, it took me a long time to just kind of really trust the directions on the package because the water would seem to absorb too quickly. I'd burn it. It didn't absorb quick enough. Anyway, there we go. We're back at a rolling boil. All right, and then we're just going to put our cover on. And we're going to immediately turn it down to low. Or, yeah, on this it's about a 2. Of course, you're going to have to know how fast your burner cools down and stuff on your stove. But so you want to put that down to low, and we don't even need to look at it at this point. There's plenty of water in there. Your rice isn't going to burn, and it's going to take about 20 minutes for it to fully absorb and get it to the point that you want it. You might check it at 15. You don't want to keep opening the cover and looking and staring at it because then it's going to become overcooked because you're going to have to cook it longer. So we'll check it in 15 minutes, and it might be done, but it usually takes about 20. So we'll see you when our rice is done. All right, we're back. I checked our rice at 15 minutes. I thought it needed a couple more, so I've let it go on a couple more. Let's see how we look. I think we look good. We're nice and fluffy. I'll taste them and take it off the heat and take a little taste. I think it's perfectly cooked. All right, so now at this point, if you're not ready to use it, put the cover back on and just set it aside. Did you get a picture? Did you see? Oh, okay. Nice fluffy rice. All right. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go on to our next recipe. See you in a little while. Well, depending on when you watch this video. To you, it's going to seem like seconds, but it could be days. Bye.